Resume and cover letter.
Thank you. Good. Thank you. Alright. So how are you doing today?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. Well, thought it feels a little sunnier, but
That's true.
that's Oregon for you. Are you from Portland or?
Not originally, but I call it home now.
Oh, very nice.
Where are you from? Sacramento, California.
Oh,
It's a little
so
bit sunnier.
was there too much sun there for you?
Not quite. I like to think of it as liquid sunshine here. So I'm still getting sunshine.
That's a nice way of thinking of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, where did you hear about our job?
I heard about it from an online posting. I looked at the job description online and looked into it a little bit more there, and that was interesting to me. So
All right.
that's all.
Well, as you probably know, our name is Sassy Media. And so how would you define the word sassy?
Sassy to me is synonymous with spunky, and it has this sense of maybe vibrancy, definitely life to it, interactive, and just lively, full of energy.
Very nice. Yeah, we definitely kind of see that word as a kind a centerpiece for kind of vibe of our business, I guess. So, what about Sassy Pants Media makes you want to work with us? Like, what about our website did you see, or the job?
To me, it's kind of a dualism between, like you said, the sassy, the vibrant part of the organization, and also your dedication to a more serious mission.
Mm-hmm.
Working with these companies and the specific type of organization, I think it shows a combination of business ethic and also like heart and soul that really connects to me.
Awesome. So if you're working on a team project and you felt the direction kind of like change negatively because of another team member, what would you do to kind of solve that problem?
Well, in that situation, when I work in a team, I always try to moderate conflict. So when conflict comes up, and it does often come up when you're in a team situation, it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. I think instead it can turn into a really productive dialogue, and if you just kind of facilitate communication so that everyone's ideas are open and heard, and then there's an equality within the team, that it can turn into a good situation that actually can build something, because something can grow out of conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just try and make sure everyone is equal and their ideas are heard.
Very good. So explain the work you've done, if any, within nonprofits, or any interest you have in them.
Well, I've done a lot of work with nonprofits as a volunteer.
Okay.
I volunteered a lot, especially when I was younger in high school. I volunteered with a company called Love Inc. that did a lot of outreach. We would collect donations and then go around to underprivileged families and deliver the donations. And so that was wonderful because I got to work both in interacting with the community, connecting donations, and also with the different part of the community in distributing the donations. And so it was a neat way to link two different parts of the community that were in the same city but not necessarily always connected.
Awesome. So if we need to create like a marketing strategy for a client that we had, which would be the Humane Society, how would you go about creating a campaign for them that was kind of in line with how you see our community running?
Well, I would definitely stick to the values of the Humane Society. I would want to talk to someone in the company or do research on the company to see what it was that made them individual. And then going along with the Sassy Pants sassy quality, I would want to make it something interactive or lively to really draw people into that. So maybe hosting an event or creating a social media site or something to draw in community members or anyone who'd be interested in that, and just connect the company or the nonprofit to the community.
All right, so here of our website that you've probably seen.
Yeah.
Just kind of look at it, and can you tell me like 3 things that, as you look at this, what you would change to improve the homepage of our website?
Okay. I think, first of all, I would do something graphic. Especially because Sassy Pants, as you say, sassy, lively, bold, full of spirit. I think that should have a visual aspect to it as well. And I would say another thing, maybe a little more information on the organizations that you work with. Maybe a list, or even something more visual like pictures or something like that, to give examples of your work, because that can establish a rapport with someone who's coming to look at the website. And also maybe just a little bit about your team. You do have another page on your team members, but because it is a personal thing as well, Sassy implies a certain amount of personality, and I think that would be great to come through on a homepage.
Sure. So if you have free time online, what kind of websites do you look at?
When I have free time online, which is rarely, I do have to say I always check out the news websites, and whether it's just like Yahoo News when it pops up when I'm checking my email. I like to be well informed, and I think that's important. But then I am an avid blog reader. My friends have a lot of blogs as they travel. I have a cousin who's in Bangkok right now, and so I like to connect with my friends and my family all over the world on blogs. And also, I like to go on fun sites, social media sites like Facebook and Twitter and things like that.
Right. And so have you used Facebook or Twitter just as like a social media thing, or have you used it in like a professional sense before? Because I see you've done a lot of like work with like newspapers and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I've used Facebook, and it's linked to my blog. So in that way, it's a little bit more professional. I maintain a WordPress site, and I'm also part of multiple groups and communities on there that are more professional. Like I'm part of a yoga society on there where it's fellow yoga instructors, and we can reach out to one another and provide like work opportunities or work information. And I'm also a moderator for a group that keeps in touch a group of international students. So in that, like pages, being a moderator on pages, I use it in a more professional context.
Okay. Have you ever for like the Beacon or things like that used it as a means of advertisement? Or?
I've used it as outreach. We call it crowdsourcing for the Beacon. If you need information, going on the Beacon Facebook page is a great way to do that and connect to the community.
Okay. So do you contribute a lot to that page, or is it more?
I mainly use it as a resource since I'm a reporter, and so I'm not an administrator of the page. If I was, I would definitely be posting content on there. I would post articles, and I would post pictures and visuals, and maybe even links to relevant things.
Okay. Perfect. Well, do you have any questions for me about the job or the company?
Can you just maybe give me an example of like a project that your company has done? I know you work with nonprofits. Like, how do you normally go about making them?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. When we work with nonprofits, we kind of seek to give them kind of, like you said, like a vibrant kind of message, because we do pick people that we work with that match the values that we have. So teams that we feel have a lot of spirit and a lot of heart into the cause that they're doing, and they're putting their whole heart into the cause.